Alright, it's Henry again, and today I'm going to be doing a review of the Master Grade Tallgeese 3. Alright, so this is the Master Grade Tallgeese 3 snapped together with no paint or panel lines. As far as colors go, everything is pretty much molded in the correct colors. There is one teeny tiny little bit of painting you're going to have to do on the head. You've got this little, in fact, let me zoom in on it, make it easier that way. This little piece up under the chin is going to have to be painted blue. They don't give you a sticker for that. And then obviously the eyes will have to be painted green. They do give you a sticker for that. And then these tiny little head Vulcans on the side of the head will have to be painted yellow. But other than that, everything is molded in pretty much its correct colors. As far as colors go, one thing I do want to mention is that this guy is molded in a light gray rather than pure white. In fact, here's a runner from Tallgeese 2. And you can see the color difference there between the pure white and the light gray of the Tallgeese 3. So, as far as stuff you get with the kit, you obviously get a Tallgeese 3. You're going to get the shield with the heat rod. If you've built a Master Grade Epyon EW, this heat rod will look very familiar because this is the exact same thing. You get the Mega Cannon, which is quite nice. We'll go over that later. You get two beam sabers on the underside of the shield, two clear pink beams for them. You've got the standard Master Grade Gundam Wing hands with swappable fingers, meaning you get the closed fists seen here, and then you're going to get trigger fingers, and then some beam saber fingers and open palms. You will get an action base connector. You get two small 1:100 scale figures of Milliardo Peacecraft, one sitting inside the cockpit, and then a small standing figure. You will get just two foil stickers for the camera on the eye. Doesn't let my camera wants to zoom in on it. Anyway, for the eyes, and then the camera that's up under the faceplate. And you'll get a nice sheet of water slide decals. So, with the intro out of the way, now we can move on to articulation. Alright, like with my Master Grade Tallgeese 2 review, I'm just going to kind of speed through the articulation since I've already reviewed two Tallgeeses prior to this one. So, head is on a ball joint, can go up and down, side to side, rotate 360. This little part moves as well. Cockpit hatch can open up. You've got two joints at mid-torso, so you got forward and back, side to side. Rotation only about that far. The shoulder joints are on kind of a weird ball joint thingy. They can come out from the torso and wiggle it around. You can go out this far. The shoulder armor rocks up and down. 360 rotation, obviously. 360 below the shoulder. 180-degree bend at the elbow, some nice moving armor panels for the elbow armor. Ball joint wrist, ball joint thumb, swappable fingers. Let's see, where do the other ones go? To put the hands in any sort of pose you might need. The skirt armor, front skirts are just on a hinge, they go up. Side skirt, well, these side skirts are on a ball joint. These side skirts are also on a ball joint, and the fingers just fell off. And they all move together as one unit, along with the thigh. Thighs can go forward that far, back until they hit the back skirt, go out about that far. Knees can bend almost 180. Alright, ankles can go forward and back, side to side, rotate 360. There's another ball joint down at the foot, also side to side, forward and back. A little bit of rotation, not much. End of the toe can go up and down. The back skirts open up to reveal thrusters. Thruster pods are on these little arms. They can go forward and back a little bit. They can rotate 360. They can go forward and back at this joint up here. Grab the top, grab the bottom, pull, they open up. This fin comes out, thrusters can wiggle, squeeze, and they close back. And that is your Tallgeese articulation. Alright, now on to the stuff that actually makes Tallgeese 3 different from the other two Tallgeeses. I guess I'll start off with the shield. It comes with a much different shield than the previous two versions. It's got the heat rod built into it, and still trying to figure out how the whole heat rod is supposed to come out of the shield. There's nowhere for it to be stored, but anyway, you have this little storage mode where just the end piece is on there. Everything here is molded in the correct colors. You're not going to have to do any masking or painting at all, so I don't know, the little black down on there in the vents, that's about it. But the heat rod connector can swivel up and down like so. This handle can go up and down. You got the beam sabers back here. This connection for the shoulder is on like a little ball joint, so you've got a little bit of rotation and wiggle in there, as well as some up and down movement. Beam sabers come out. I guess I'll just show you those. I mean, they're beam sabers, so pretty basic. Anyway, there's a connection here for the shoulder armor. It's just a little ball joint. Pops right on there. Shield's pretty small and light, so he didn't have any trouble keeping it on there. Now for the actual heat rod, you want to pop this off, and then you get 10 heat rod segments, and what they do is they have each one is on a ball joint, but they have like a locking mechanism. This is the heat rod locked up, and it's got a little bit of flexibility, but not much. And then when you pull each one of these ball joints out, oops, not all the way out, they become much more flexible. So you can do it in all kind of dynamic poses. And then this little pointy end will go into the last one. This end goes into the shield, and there you go. As far as weight goes, it doesn't really hold itself up all that well. I mean, kinda, sorta, but if you're wanting to have the whole thing extended out, it's just going to flop down. That's why Bandai has this locking mechanism in each of the joints, so you can have it extended and it's not going to flop down. And if you want to have Tallgeese 3 holding onto the handle of the shield, it's honestly going to look a little bit awkward. I mean, he can do it, but I think it looks better with his hand not holding the handle. Now onto the Mega Cannon. Again, like the shield, you're going to have a connection here with a couple of ball joints that will connect to the shoulder armor. The handle here moves forward and back. All of the parts are molded in the correct colors. Nice brown cables here, blue for the energy pod back here. And the barrel can open up and extend. First you'll pull these parts out, and then each half at the top and bottom will split up, and there you go. It's very nice looking. My only real problem with the Mega Cannon are the seam lines. Oh my god, there's seam lines all over this thing. One here, one here, one on the handle, there's one right there, one up under this gray part under those brown cables, and then one on the blue energy pod back here. So a lot of seam line filling on the Mega Cannon. And it may get you take you a minute or two to get the Mega Cannon positioned into Tallgeese 3's hand, but once you do, it stays put. Nice solid connection, and there really aren't any weight issues holding it at all. And once you get the Tallgeese 3 up on an action base, you can pull off some pretty nice aerial poses. And just in case anyone's curious, this is Tallgeese 3's inner frame. Pretty much identical to Tallgeese 1 and 2, just with slightly different colors and a slightly different head. Okay, so this is the Tallgeese 3 all painted up. and I changed up the colors ever so slightly. All of the light gray parts for the inner frame and some of the joints, I repainted those white, specifically just because I wanted to do my Tallgeese 3 in like the 90s colors, because in Endless Waltz and like the 90s model kits, the joints, the hands, the elbow joints, knees, everything was all white. So I did the entire inner frame in white. Also, these little joints on the heat rod were white, or kind of light off gray, whatever. I painted those blue, again, to be accurate to the 90s color scheme. But everything else is pretty much the same as the box art. Around back here, you can see some of that white. The only place it is really kind of a high contrast is inside the thruster pods there, so that definitely looks unique. Anyway, as far as the decals go, I did the same thing as with Tallgeese 1 and 2. I got a water slide copy of Master Grade Tallgeese's decals off of the internet, and the only decals I used that came with Tallgeese 3 were the Oz 00 MS2B and Tallgeese 3 decals on the shoulders, and then the Tallgeese 3 decal here on the shield. Everything else is all third party. So it is time, might need to back these up, for the lineup of all three Master Grade Tallgeeses side by side. There we go. Let's make sure he doesn't fall over. Anyway, so finally got Master Grade Tallgeese 1 in TV colors, Tallgeese 2, and Tallgeese 3. So that does it for my review of the Master Grade Tallgeese 3. It's pretty much articulation and detail-wise exactly the same as the Tallgeese 1 and 2, but this holds the distinction of being the most unique of the three Tallgeeses simply because of the different weapons it comes with. I think the Mega Cannon is really, really well done. It does have some seam lines on it you're going to have to take care of if you care about that sort of thing, but other than that, the Mega Cannon is really nice. The part separation and color separation is great on that. The heat rod is good. No issues with the links on there. The shield is molded in like a dozen different parts, and it goes together really, really nicely. All the different reds, whites, and blues are in their appropriate color, so the shield was really well done. The new parts for the Tallgeese 3, the shoulder armor, I thought was really done. It does have a little seam line right on the end of the shoulder armor there, but it's actually a really easy one to take care of. The head is very, very nice. It has a much better looking head than the old 1/100 scale high grade Tallgeese 3. And just overall, another great addition to the Master Grade Endless Waltz lineup. So I guess that about does it for this review, and with that, I'll see you guys next time.